And are you refreshed? Good. Now what? Wait.
Ready? This is it. Thank you. Hello, Abraham. This is very deliciously intimidating. In the vortex, I am an author of a book. It's exhilarating and a little scary, but I really want to do it.
Well, which means it's in the vortex, out of the vortex. Exhilarating is in, scary is out. Don't write it unless you're in.
Okay.
Don't think about it unless you're in. In other words, get in and then think about it.
Okay, that's really good. Okay. That seems like everything I need to know right there in a capsule. But I want to milk this because you talk about milking good moments. You said in other recordings that I have that it takes about 15 minutes a day. You brought me much relief when you said to another person that it takes about 15 minutes a day to write a book if you're in the vortex. That thought brings me relief and it brings me hope.
Most of the effort involved in writing a really good book is getting into the vortex where you can hear it. In other words, once you get in there, it really rolls. You hear people talking about athletes talking about being in the zone or being in the flow. You talk about writers, songwriters, musicians talking about waiting for the inspiration. And so the effort really is getting yourself in the vibrational proximity of the flow. And then the book comes easily.
Okay. And doing that
means ignoring life sometimes, or it means gradually tuning yourself. In other words, if we had 6 months to write a book, if we were standing in your physical shoes and someone was asking for it and it was due in 6 months, we would spend the first month just getting in the vortex as much as we could. And the second month, just getting in the vortex as much as we could. And the third month, just getting in the vortex as much as we could. And then the fourth month, we would write the book. And the fifth month, we would edit it. And the sixth month, we would celebrate it.
That sounds like a plan right there.
So where are you in this 6-month period?
Not even started. But there's a genuineness. I feel it in my heart, a great happiness when I think of this. There's a great happiness. I'm learning through your teachings to move closer to the vortex and to that aspect of the vortex.
What's the subject of your book?
It is the subject of my book is spiritual power.
So it's about being in the vortex.
It's about being...
Because that's where your spiritual power is.
That is, yes. And contrast has led me to that.
Contrast leads you to everything.
Right, okay. Okay, well, yeah.
So what's the subject of your book?
Well, I'm not so sure how to answer that. It would have to do with accessing a power that brings much good into people's lives. And I like the word power.
So you're going to write a book about what you had to do to write a book.
I don't get that.
Or about what? Say again?
I didn't get that. I'm confused.
So you're going to write a book about what you had to do to write a book.
Yes.
You're going to write a book
Yes.
about what someone would have to do
Yes.
to recover from an illness.
Yes.
You're going to write a book about what someone would have to do to become magnificently prosperous. You're going to write a book about what it takes. And what it takes is, do you believe that people don't have prosperity or don't have wellness because they don't want it?
No.
So you don't need to write a book about getting them to want, because they already do. Do you think they need to focus more upon what they want? We don't. We think they've done enough focusing to keep them busy for 20 or 30 lifetimes.
Right.
We think that what they're missing is how to vibrationally achieve alignment with who they really are. And so we've written that book. Why are you going to write it? Well, maybe because we've written it and written it and written it and written it and written it, all of them on the New York Times best-selling list. So what makes you feel the need for another boring book on spiritual power?
I would like to think that as I get in the vortex, Source will inspire me to putting something together that will be a book.
That is unique to you. Otherwise, why don't you just tell them about our book?
That they're mutually inclusive. I thought of that too.
We're very serious here. In other words, what makes anyone paint another painting? There are plenty around. Write another song.
It makes me
there
happy. To see myself as an author makes me very happy, very fulfilled, and it awakens something in me that's been there all along, and it's there.
But what we're getting at is, what's awakening? To see yourself as an author.
Yeah.
What's that about? To see yourself as an author.
That is the most intimate question anyone could ask me, and I have a camera and an audience and a microphone. So there is an answer to that, but it's... I think I would feel I've expanded, I've grown, I'm really living a fuller potential, a bigger life, something in me, like a little acorn, has sprouted and grown.
The reason that we're asking this is because there's a flaw in your premise that is slowing you down. And you've just given us the answer. So as we give you this, you're going to feel things sort of click into place. There are a lot of authors that want to be authors for the very reason that you spoke. I would like to be seen as an author. I care about how the world sees me. But the thing that's screwy about that is, when you get in the vortex, you care only about one thing, your alignment with who you are. You care about how your source is seeing, but more important, you care about how you see source. So when we say, why are you writing your book? And you say, well, because the world needs another book. That's not accurate. When you say, I want to write a book because I want to be seen as an author, that may be accurate, but it's an outside the vortex reason. Because from inside the vortex, you write the book because you can't not write it. You write the book because you are it. You write the book because the knowing is so compelling that it just spews forth from you. But the powerful, inspired desire that is behind all of that is, I believe that I may be able to uniquely express in a way that law of attraction will match those with me who will benefit by what I've written. In other words, and the thing that's a little bit off, and not very much off, but just a little bit off, and once you reconcile it, you'll come back into alignment. Your writing, you want your desire for writing to be an extension of your desire for connection, not a reason for your connection. And can you feel the difference? If I could write a book, then I'd get in the vortex. Or if I wrote a really good book, then I'd go in the vortex. Or if I wrote a really good book, people would like it and I would earn money, then I'd go in the vortex. But that's all going about it the hard way. If you flip it around and you say, when I go in the vortex and I tune to who I really am, I feel wonderful. And then I allow what's natural for me. Now you're in balance. And now the book begins to pour through you.
And I think I've been moving in that direction gradually. And there's a momentum that has been built. And I came here for a few pieces. And I feel I've received... a bridge has come my way.
Well, we look forward, and Jerry and Esther do too, to any of you who are wanting to write books on this subject. But what we most powerfully look forward to is your unique slant on it. In other words, you have your life through which you are flowing this information. Let it be reflective of what you are about.
Thank you very much, Abraham.
Yes, indeed.